I mean, I've interviewed Victoria Mars. I know that there's a deep and long-standing commitment to diversity there and to women. I have to say this feels disingenuous. Part of it was the gleeful tone of the tweet, where basically it was mocking. And we can disagree on this, but to me it was kind of mocking and making light of like, oh, well, you don't like our candy characters, so here let's essentially trot out a spokeswoman who, of course, I think is also very emblematic of what they're trying to do with the candies. And it feels like this was always going to be the intention and that it's a bit of a publicity stunt, almost like when you pretend to date before a movie comes out. But that's me. Maybe I'm a cynic.
So, well, by the way, my favorite definition of cynicism is one John Updike offered, which is that it's nothing more than tired pragmatism. And I think you have reason to be a tired pragmatist here. And it's not that I disagree, but if let me kind of add some texture from my perspective to a few things. One, this was a brand response, not a corporate response, right? And so the brand has a tone of voice, and it was on, I don't remember if they tweeted it or Insta or both. Both, I think. And so speaking in that voice is appropriate from a marketing perspective. This wasn't, Anton Vincent, who's the president of the confection business in North America, coming out and giving a corporate statement. So I think, if you then think about, okay, how does a confection brand, a candy brand, respond on social media? They're gonna, to something like this. Some of the tonality I thought was trite, to your point, but
they claim to have broken the internet. I would argue I'd totally forgotten about the incident, in all honesty, at this point.
I completely agree. I think that didn't land, or reflect reality, but whatever.
Okay.
And what again remains to be seen, depending upon what they do with this spot with Maya Rudolph in the game, in the Super Bowl, is, are they responding or is it proactive or reactive, right? Maya's involvement, I think, had already been announced. Their purchasing of a spot was already known. They're a longtime advertiser in the game. Are they trying to make hay while the sun shines, or good out of bad, or pick your cliche? I don't know, but there's not really much about this that I like. And the fundamental, I don't even know that I'm going to like it anymore if Maya comes out as woke as Maya is as a human, or seems to be as a human, depending upon what character they have her play. But it seems unlikely to me that M&Ms is going to keep picking a political fight, especially since, at least at the moment, they've given into it.
You know what it reminds me of is, do you remember when Jerry Falwell went after Tinky Winky, the Teletubby?
I am old enough to remember that.
I'm old enough to remember that. And he didn't even write the editorial. He didn't write the piece. He left. This was a piece that appeared in his magazine. I believe it was called National Liberty Journal or something to that effect. And he basically leveraged it to once again promote this anti-LGBTQ plus platform that the religious right had. And it, to me, was reminiscent because it was both sides mocking the other. And I think Tucker Carlson is, on one hand, the progeny of the moral majority. On the other hand, he's taken it to a whole, I don't even know, wacky level. But it does feel like to be playing off what I think is, in essence, kind of a painful part of the reality today. It's just not an area you can be light, fun-hearted to the extent that a candy company wants to be.
By the way, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. But if you think, was there an if I'm understanding you right, Diane, you can't.
It feels like they're playing into the culture wars a bit for some free publicity. And I'm not saying that they intended that to be the case, but this sudden about face where you then put characters on pause because somebody calls them fat makes me think like you're just adding fodder. If I'd be saying, excuse me, Mars and M&Ms, you can't take a little bit of ribbing, so to speak.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt Tucker and Fox are, because it wasn't just Tucker. Coverage was really across Fox. Yeah, are fanning those flames, but that's their MO. That's what they do. That's why it's
just another piece of fodder for the evening's show.